Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with a video of me customizing my Hammond collection Giganotosaurus, and I'm not even really going to do all that much to it because for the most part Mattel knocked this figure out of the park in my opinion. Like, the sculpt is incredible. I don't need to switch out the feet, I don't need any sort of a new head sculpt or anything. Overall, I think they did a great job on this figure, and I've stated this in my original review of the Giganotosaurus, which of course is up on the channel. But I'm just going to do some minor alterations to this figure to enhance it a little bit, make it look a little bit more realistic, I think, and maybe, I guess you could say, a little bit closer to the way it looks on screen. And for the most part, there's not really anything major that I'm going to do here. It seems like, for the most part, I think what I'm going to be doing is pretty simplistic stuff that pretty much anyone can do. You could, of course, add a little bit extra to it, like, you know, adding in more variation of color and stuff like that, maybe more browns and stuff if that's what you want to do. But I'm not going to do all that. It's pretty much just a few small steps that we're going to do to our Giga to just kind of increase the overall visual of this and how realistic and lifelike it looks. And the very first thing that I want to do to this Giganotosaurus is give it a light wash. So the Giga in the film actually has kind of like, if you look at the scales, has like a light tone, like a very light gray that you'll see sort of creeping in and out of a lot of the scales of the figure. And that's, like, I think the most obvious thing that I need to do to this is apply that light wash. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to water down some gray paint, some light gray paint, like really water it down, and then I'm going to apply it to the figure, and I'm going to wipe it off as I go, but like leave it still, you know, sit between the cracks and crevices of the scales. So let's go ahead and get to that. So all I did was take some of this granite gray, I put it into a little cup, and then I mixed in some water with the granite gray, and now I mixed it all up and watered it down, and it'll go on a lot easier as far as like a wash goes compared to obviously the thicker version it was in the first place. And I highly recommend doing that. It works great, honestly. So that's basically the effect that we're going for right there. How you can see that the light gray now kind of creeps through all of these little cracks and crevices of the scales. That's basically what I want to achieve by doing this, and I think it's going to, like I said, enhance the figure a lot when it comes to the realism of the Giganotosaurus. And you can see as you go, it just looks really, really good on the figure. So I'm going to do this to the entire figure. There's no point in sitting here and boring you to death with watching this step. I'm just going to keep repeating what you just saw. So I'll get that done, and then we'll come back and check it out from there. So I've got the wash applied, and I might have went a little bit heavy with it, I'm not too sure, but as you can see, again, it's definitely got a very, very light washy sort of a look. So the next step that I'm going to do to kind of make my Giganotosaurus just a little bit more realistic is to take pavement gray, and I'm going to dry brush this over pretty much everything in an attempt to bring out the detail, the scales and stuff, and just make it a little bit more screen accurate as a whole. So let's go ahead and get to that. Now, I didn't actually like water this down or anything at all. I'm basically taking it straight from the bottle and then bringing it up onto the model. I just, like I said, I'm dry brushing it on. So I'm basically, what I'm going to do is take the paint, put it on the brush, and then wipe most of it off. So then you just basically have like a light amount of it on the brush still. And then I'm going to brush it over the entire figure from there, and then we'll check it out again once I'm done that, because I'm basically just going to continue to repeat this process until I get everything the way I want it. So let me do that, and then we will come back and check it out from there. Now my next step is to take some more of the pavement gray, and I have now watered it down so that I can reapply all of the patterning and just make that look a little bit more obvious and vibrant through the course of the body. And then I'm going to take some of the pewter gray that I have here, and then I'm going to dry brush this over top of all of this patterning that I just put on. That will kind of enhance the patterning a little bit and also blend it into the body a little bit better so that it doesn't look so out of place and looks a little more natural as a whole. And then after that, the only thing I think I have left to do after that point is just basically to paint the eye, because I don't really like the glass eye thing that we've got going on. So once I finish that and I paint the eye, then we'll check out the finished final product. I know I didn't show the entire process, but I think that sometimes can get very long-winded and boring. So I basically just wanted to show you how to do this, and then you can do it on your own, and again, maybe improve your Giganotosaurus. So let me go ahead, finish this little dry brushing technique, paint the eyes for my Giga, and then we'll check the entire thing out when it's done. So here is my finished Giganotosaurus, and you can see it definitely looks pretty nice, I think. Of course, it's not going to be picture perfect because I am not a professional at this. I'm not even the best probably anywhere around. Definitely not the best in the biz, but I think it turned out pretty decent overall. I painted out the scars and stuff there on the snout and that little tear in the jaw, the scar down here. And as you move through, again, with the addition of all of that new paintwork that I've added to it, I feel like it really shines a lot more realistically and just brings a good bit more life to an already incredible sculpt, because this really is one of the best, I think, to come from Mattel so far. And, you know, it's very helpful when the figure already looks pretty darn nice as far as the paintwork goes. So it's not like you have to do a brand new, full, complete repaint, because for the most part, the figure already looks pretty nice. You can see I gave the wash here to the underside as well. I felt like that would be a nice touch, and it looks pretty decent here on the final product. We'll, of course, turn it around here, take a look at the opposing side. You can see how nice everything looks again on both sides. I think the eyes look a lot better now that they actually have the paintwork on them rather than the glass eye. It just looks so much more realistic. The glass eyes just aren't popping for me that nicely, but as you move through again, it's, like I said, not going to be picture perfect because I am no professional. I'm no Marco Makes or anything when it comes to painting stuff like this to replicate the way you see it in the films and on screen, but I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, and I think it definitely looks a lot more realistic than it used to. And again, the fact that it already comes in that greenish tone, and then I've added in grays and stuff, kind of gives it the look of being green and gray. So I feel like, you know, the tones of color on it are pretty nice overall. I didn't paint the inside of the mouth or anything. It's still the same the way it was. I may go back and add like some color to that, maybe like some washes or something. I'm not too sure yet, but you can really see just how, again, incredibly impressive the sculpt is once you try to add like a little bit extra as far as the coloration to just enhance it and bring out the, you know, detail a little more. I think it's just so unbelievably impressive. So in the comments section, let me know what you guys think of this, if I've done a decent job of bringing it to life, or if maybe I just ruined a really beautiful figure. I'm not too sure, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know in the comment section, and of course, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.